There's all kinds of contention and pissing matches around, well, we're eating more carbs now, no, we're eating more fat now. The reality is we're eating more now, period. And the more, and this is also where it gets super annoying, they have this labeled under grains. Is that what it is? Added grains, flour, cereal products, and then added fats, oils, and dairies. People are not eating pearled barley with a dash of ghee that was milked by the Dalai Lama and blessed. This is what they're eating. This is what folks are eating when we see increased grains and increased oil consumption. How many folks have heard me talk about this Doritos roulette bag? Anybody? A couple of people? How much time? Am I 15 minutes in? I have 10 minutes? Okay, I literally could do an hour on this slide alone. It's kind of crazy. So on the bag, and again, this laser pointer is not fantastic, but it says, attention, some chips are extremely hot. So what they've done within this bag is they have a mix of extremely hot, medium, and mild chips. And again, if you followed any of my work, any of Stefan Guyenet's work, and you think about hyperpalatability, palate fatigue, what these folks have done in one bag is created a randomized stochastic distribution in palate experience, which makes the product more addictive. So I was checking this out, and I was like, wow, this is really interesting. So I tracked down who the manufacturer was, and it's kind of like a Coca-Cola owned company or something like that. They had a contact page, and so I shot them an email, never expected to hear anything back. And I said, hey, I'm a food researcher. I'm just really curious, by chance, does the distribution of hot versus medium versus mild follow a power law distribution? And I had a couple of other questions, fired it off, never expected to hear anything. 2 days later, I got an email back, and the gal said, hey, Rob, it's great to hear from you. Fantastic questions. The scientists in the lab are huge fans. They love all of your work. And I was like, shit. And they were so tickled that, yes, the distribution of these things follow a power law distribution. So what the food manufacturers are doing, they are exceptionally well steeped in evolutionary biology, evolutionary psychology, chaos mathematics as it applies to habituating someone to an addictive substance. If you wanted to get a mouse or a human addicted on cocaine, you wouldn't give the individual the same dose every time. One time it would be a big dose, the next time it would be a small dose, the other time there would be no dose, because the anticipatory nature of what's going to happen next heightens that dopamine response. So the level that these folks are operating on is so sophisticated, so dialed in, it is absolutely jaw-dropping. And on the standard medical model, if you were to even try to talk about hyperpalatable foods, optimum foraging strategy, palate fatigue, they look at you like you have three heads. But the folks that are profiteering from our health crisis are probably better steeped at evolutionary biology than we are. So that's something to noodle on, and it's also something to noodle on. Just as a side note, when we get into pissing matches about is 30 grams of carbohydrate versus 50 grams of carbohydrate a ketogenic diet, we are really missing the boat. Like, we have so lost the narrative, it's almost painful, because this is what we're competing against, and they are absolutely kicking our asses.